everyone, welcome back. We are now in our 7th week of social isolating in order to protect one another from getting sick. And one of the things that's on a lot of people's minds is how we can also stay healthy by taking care of ourselves. So, what kinds of foods can we eat to boost our immune system is what a lot of people are thinking about. Um, that along with making sure that you're getting exercise and you're getting sleep, all of those things really matter to keep you healthy and strong. But your immune system is supported best by the nutrients that you take in. So some of the important key nutrients are going to be vitamin C, okay, vitamin D, and your antioxidants. And you also want to make sure that you're getting a well-rounded diet. Another key nutrient in boosting your immune system is zinc. A lot of people don't get enough zinc, and we're going to talk about where to get that today. But making sure that you're eating good food all the way around. It's hard when you're feeling isolated, as we all are, can get us down. And when we get down, we tend to gravitate towards foods that are not so healthy and they don't support your immune system. So it's really important to pay attention to the foods that you're consuming and make room for the foods that are going to help you stay healthy through this. Because you know what? I really want to see you healthy and strong on the other side of this, back in the kitchen with me. So that's really important to me. So I want you to take good care of yourselves. Today we're going to focus on snacks, quick, easy things that you can make that are going to satisfy your need to crunch or satisfy the need for something sweet, while also boosting your immune system a lot. So hopefully these are things that you have in your house. If not, you can plan ahead for the next shopping trip and make sure that you stock up on some of these things. I did modify one of the recipes to keep it basic to what you likely have sitting around in the house. So let's get started. Let's wash our hands like we always do, put our hair up, and get started. I also want to remind you that while we're doing this, we're going to be focusing on our plating, because remember, we eat with our eyes first. When we see something, that's how we determine whether or not we're going to like it. We judge things by their appearance. So we're going to talk about how to give a beautiful presentation so that everyone is excited to try what it is that you're making. So those are the skills that we're going to work on today. Quick, easy nutrients that are satisfying, and presentation. And we're going to get a lot of knife skills in there today too. So I'll see you in the kitchen. Okay, so the two recipes that we're making today are going to be hummus with a vegetable platter, and we're going to also do a berry fruit salad with a little dressing on it. So let's get started. So let's start with our hummus, okay? So for our hummus, you're going to need some chickpeas or garbanzo beans, okay? 1 can of that. If you only have dried ones at home, you're just going to soak them, and you're going to have about 2 cups, just under 2 cups after they're soaked. We're going to need lemon juice, so if you have a lemon. If you don't have a lemon, a lime works. I don't think an orange would work so well in this recipe, but a lemon is fine. Normally, hummus calls for tahini, and that's something that most people don't have in their house, so that I didn't include in this recipe. So instead, we're going to be using some hot water and some olive oil, okay? And there's olive oil in hummus anyway. We're going to add just a little bit extra than normal. And then we have cumin and garlic. So pretty simple. All right, so garlic is a great immune booster. So anytime you can get that in is excellent. Of course, our lemon has our vitamin C. Our chickpeas have a lot of protein in them, which is useful to keeping your body strong. And then, of course, the cumin is for flavor. So I have my blender. ready to go, and I have my mise en place containers. So what I'm going to start doing first is I'm going to open up my chickpeas, and you'll see that it's filled with water. So I'm going to go ahead over to my sink, and I'm going to drain them, and then I'm going to rinse them really well with some water to get rid of all the residue on there, okay? So you can go ahead and do the same. You want to make sure that it's drained and rinsed. You don't want to have any of this water that's been sitting in your hummus, okay? And then we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so I have my drained and rinsed chickpeas. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in my mise en place. Okay, and I'm gonna set that aside. I've got a very full counter today. All right. We're going to need 2 garlic cloves. And I've got this one giant one, so I don't want to use more than that. It's probably even too much, honestly. But a little extra garlic, I don't mind it. Some people might think it's too strong. So a little trick for peeling your garlic is put it down like this. Take your knife pointing away from you. Take the heel of your palm like this and push down. Ooh, that's a strong one. This is such a big one, I'm having trouble with it. Usually it'll split right open, but this garlic clove is stronger than me. Look at how big that is. It's huge. I'm certain that yours is probably a lot smaller than this. You know, we all grow in different shapes and sizes. And your fruits and vegetables, and herbs and spices all do as well. Think how boring it would be if everything was exactly the same. Okay. Wow, this is a tough one. All right. So we don't need to cut this up because it's going into our blender. So it's going to get blended up, but I do want to make it a little smaller because this is a really big piece. And if my blender doesn't get it all, then someone's going to get a really big mouthful of garlic and it's going to ruin the recipe for them. So I'm going to kind of cut it up. And I don't think I'm going to use this whole thing because it is a lot of garlic. So I am going to cut it into smaller pieces. Go ahead and put that in a mise en place. Okay, and then I want a couple 3 tablespoons of hot water. All right. Okay, we got our hot water. And we need our lemon juice. So I've got my lemon. I'm going to cut it in half this way, not this way. You don't want to do it the long way because in order to juice it, it works best if it's cut this way so that we can really get into each of those segments of the lemon and squeeze out all the juice. And I'm going to set this aside because I'm going to want to use it for the next thing that we make. Okay. I'm going to actually put my lemon juice right into mix it in with my water because it's both a liquid. glaze it over this. And some of you might have one of those hand juicers, like we have in our classes, and you can go ahead and use that. Okay. I'll take out my seeds. Our lemon juice, our hot water. We also need our olive oil. And again, for my olive oil, I'm going to go ahead and also put that in with the liquid. Okay. And here is our cumin. So you need a half a teaspoon of this. And I didn't get out my half teaspoon measurement, so I'm just gonna use my judgment. I do really enjoy cumin, so mine might be a little generous, and that's okay. Until you get comfortable with what measurements look like, I would suggest that you measure it out fully before attempting to guesstimate. It's good to experiment with, to add a little more or a little less, but you should have a basic understanding of what that measurement looks like before you do that. Okay, and then we need some salt, and then we're going to put everything into our blender. So let's start by putting our chickpeas in. And I'm going to put my garlic in. I'm going to go ahead and put my liquid in. And my cumin. All right, let's blend this up. See how super easy that was? All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to transfer it to a bowl. And this is where we're going to start thinking about our presentation. So what are some things to dress this up that you can do? Really think about that. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and smooth out the top like this. Kind of do it an indent, do a swirl around, I think, like this. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to take a little olive oil. If you have some sesame oil, that might be good. Drizzle that on the top, like that. And now I'm going to add pumpkin seeds. the reason I'm adding pumpkin seeds, not only is it going to make this look fancy and dressed up, but pumpkin seeds are one of the best sources for zinc, and zinc is so important to ward off viruses. It helps your body fight those viruses and shorten the length of time that you have them if you do get it. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle those on. You can even reserve some of the chickpeas from the can before you blend it and just put a couple of whole chickpeas on there. That's always pretty too. Alright, I've got my pumpkin seeds, and now I'm going to take a little bit more of this cumin and I'm going to sprinkle that on the top. And I think I might even put a little cilantro. I have some cilantro over next to my sink, so I'm going to grab some cilantro and put a couple cilantro leaves in the top because I love cilantro. Alright, so there we have our bowl of hummus. Now we're going to work on our platter. So the vegetables that I have for my dipping into my hummus, we want some things that are crunchy because crunch helps lower stress levels, get out some of our frustration. So I have peppers, and I purposefully chose peppers because peppers have actually more vitamin C in them than an orange. So this is a great way to get your vitamin C in with your hummus. I also chose broccoli because broccoli has a lot of really great properties. One of the best things is its amount of calcium. So calcium complements all of the other nutrients that we're taking in. And then cucumbers because we can cut them into chips and it kind of mimics a chip in that crunch. And then the next best thing you can do is eat this outside because when you're outside you get the vitamin D. So you'll be getting everything you need in this snack that keeps your body healthy. So let's go ahead and practice our knife skills, right? So I want to julienne my peppers. So I'm going to slice them like this into strips. And we don't want to make them too thin because we want them to stand up to scooping up some of the hummus, right? So go ahead and put those on my platter. Now I want some red pepper. And now this is really long, so to prevent people from double dipping, I think I'm going to cut it in half. Okay. Beautiful red peppers. Now I'm going to do my broccoli. Broccoli is easy because you just want the small florets to dip, right? So all you have to do is kind of cut it off where you want, depending on how long you want the stem to be. Oh, don't want to forget this little baby one. And then you can just kind of break it apart. This one's pretty thick, so I'm going to cut it into a smaller piece. Okay, so I got my broccoli. And now I'm going to do slices of cucumber because remember I said I wanted it to be like a chip. If you don't like the skin of a cucumber, which really has a lot of nutrients in it. But if you don't like it, you can either peel it in a pattern, so it's every other, so there's strips of it. You know what, I'm going to do that to show you what it looks like. Get my peeler. So you peel it, remember, away from you, like that. And then you leave a little bit of the dark green skin, and then you peel it away from you again in another spot. And then again. We'll do it one more time. So see how it's striped like that now? So then when I slice it, it gives it a very pretty presentation. See? Alright, so I'm going to show you what my platter looks like. See, doesn't that look appetizing? And it's very simple, easy to do. It didn't take us long at all to do this. And you're getting all the nutrients that you need if you sit outside and get that vitamin D while you eat it. Alright, so enjoy. And after I clean this up a little bit, we're going to start on our next recipe for our sweet dessert. Satisfy your sweet tooth while getting your nutrients in, okay? Okay, so this is one of the things that I encourage all of my junior chefs to do, and that is to experiment. So I'm going to be honest with you, I'm making this up as I go, okay? And I'm hoping that it comes out delicious. Alright, so we have our strawberries, raspberries, red raspberries, and black raspberries. And I have the other half of the lemon from our hummus. And I have some local honey and some fresh ginger root. So all of these things are excellent for boosting your immune system. But they also happen to taste really good when they're put together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up my strawberries. I'm going to leave my raspberries whole. And then I'm going to just mix together as a sauce to pour over it. I'm going to mix together some honey, some lemon, and grate some ginger root and mix that in as a sauce and pour it over it. And this would be great to have over maybe some yogurt, or you could eat it plain the way it is. And it will make a really good dessert or snack. Alright, so I think I'm going to slice my strawberries like this, okay? I want you to notice how much I'm cutting off of the top. I don't want to waste any of my strawberry. I really like strawberries. So I'm cutting it close to the green as possible, so I'm not getting rid of any of the strawberry. Okay. I'm only going to make one serving, so I don't need too much. Maybe I'll do one more. I'll do a small strawberry. Add some handful of blackberries. And a handful of our red raspberries. Okay. I'm going to set that aside while I make the sauce. So I'm going to squeeze the rest of this lemon into this bowl. And I'm doing the lemon first because I'm not using a juicer. So I want to be able to get the seeds out easily. If you're making a bigger salad, you might need to use an entire lemon. Okay. Get out those seeds. And I'm going to add about a tablespoon of honey. Okay. And now our ginger, I'm going to want to peel just a little bit because we don't want a whole lot. Ginger is very strong flavor. So I'm just peeling the end of my big ginger root. I'm going to cut off the very tip. And then I have a grater. And I'm going to grate some of that ginger into the sauce. I don't need a whole lot. As a matter of fact, you probably don't even need that much, but I tend to really like the flavor of ginger. I'm going to mix that together. Now you can experiment with this using other flavors. You could do it with a lime, with an orange. You could have other fruits in there if you want. If you have other fruits around, you can add other fruit to your salad. You could put a little cinnamon into this dressing. All right, now I'm gonna pour that over it. And I'm going to let it sit to marinate in that flavor for a while. So all the berries kind of absorb the flavor. So you have the sweetness. This should be very balanced. We haven't tried it yet, but you have the sweetness from the berries. You have the sour from the lemon. You have that tangy, strong flavor from your ginger root. And then you have added sweetness from your local honey. So it should be a nice balanced dessert for you. All right, so enjoy. I hope you really enjoy having these snacks, and please stay healthy. Remember to wash your hands. Eat healthy foods with lots of nutrients that are going to nourish you and get you through to being able to be back in the kitchen with me, back at school with your friends, back on the playground as soon as possible. So I miss you, and I'll see you soon.